did the Steelers make the right move in locking in Big Ben for another season?
No, they didn't, Rick. LaVar and I are from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He went to North Hills. I went to Woodland Hills. Woodland Hills is better. It's fine.
Well, we beat Woodland Hills.
That
was our homecoming.
No, they didn't make the right move. I bring that up because Pittsburgh is a very loyal place. The Steelers are a loyal organization. They are a very steady organization. They are a very committed organization. However, they've lost their way because the Steelers used to be an organization that held Lombardi trophies as the standard for a successful season. Anything less than that was a disappointment, and we've got to make changes, and we've got to make them fast. On the field, obviously, they keep the same coaches. They're great behind the scenes. The Rooneys are great owners. But I didn't like what I heard from them last week, talking about, we had the longest winning streak in franchise history. We won the division. Won the division? When did that become the standard for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Not the Pittsburgh Steelers that I know, but we are a loyal city, and they are a loyal organization, so they're going to try and make it work with Ben one more year. I think it's nice of Ben that he restructured and gave them some money and some flexibility, but no, it's time to move on from Ben Roethlisberger. Apparently, I was the only one that watched the end of that Pittsburgh Steelers season, because while that winning streak was great and it was fun, and I certainly enjoyed it, the end of the season was an utter collapse. And Ben did not look great. He did not put up great numbers. And Ben is at the end of the road. What was the last time they won a playoff game? 2016. They've lost 3 straight playoff games. You want to talk about Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson and the value that they have to these organizations. What is Ben bringing to the organization? He's not a workout guy. He's not a huge culture guy. His teammates like him. The city likes him, but he's blocked them from moving forward at the quarterback position and bringing in his heir apparent for whenever he decides to retire, which he's been talking about for 3 or 4 years now. They need to make an aggressive move for whoever is up next at the quarterback position. And the most important thing, since we're talking about winning division, is all of the other quarterbacks in this division, which, by the way, 3 of those teams were in the playoffs this year, so it is the best division in football, are all young men. Joe Burrow is going to be back next year. We know what Lamar Jackson is capable of. Baker Mayfield is solid. What are you guys going to do going into the future after this year? Because if you bring Ben back, that's great. Cool. Maybe he wins another division. I don't think he'll win another playoff game because I think that time has passed and the AFC is getting better as we speak. But what are you going to do next year? Are you willing to make a trade to bring someone in like Sam Darnold? Are you willing to make some moves to ensure that you have the next guy that's going to come in after Ben Roethlisberger eventually does retire? Probably not. I don't see them making those kind of aggressive moves. So, no, I don't think it was a good idea. They're just keeping a little Band-Aid there. They're being soft. They want to, ease him into retirement or whatever. But I don't think this is a good move for the Steelers.
Names like Yancey Thigpen and Louis Lips and Ernie Mills and John L. Williams. There are names that you'll hear that you'd be like, well, who are they? But they were amazing contributors to this Pittsburgh Steelers team. Yes, this is a great move. It's not great in the sense of the player, Ben Roethlisberger, that he is right now, but it's a great move because you're doing something that the Pittsburgh Steelers do. You got to pay attention to what they're doing to understand how they get the results that they consistently get. Sure, we can sit there and discuss and argue that they may have lost their way because we're saying, hey, they won a AFC North championship. I get it. I get where you're coming from, Joy, but I think what they're trying to do right now is they're trying to address multiple issues by utilizing their ability to scout. That's why I brought those names up leading into my point. It's like, why did he bring those names up? Well, Pittsburgh knows how to find talent, and Pittsburgh knows how to develop talent at the quarterback's position, at the receiver's position, at other positions on the field. They've known how to identify and bring guys in. People are hard on Dwayne Haskins. They're hard and they're down on him, and they want to write him off. But this is a guy that was as elite as it got at the college ranks, and he's not that far removed. He's not ruined. He's not a broken quarterback in the National Football League. He's just someone that has needed a little bit more guidance and some time to have some maturity set in. And I think that that's something that he can find in Pittsburgh with the type of leadership that Mike Tomlin and this coaching staff brings to the table. So why bring back Ben Roethlisberger? He took a pay cut. he's affordable. That's first and foremost. We're able to give him the respectful departure, swan song, so to speak, that you can. And along the way, you're developing Dwayne Haskins to see another affordable player on your roster if he can be that guy. If it doesn't work out, at the least, we had a year where we could give Ben Roethlisberger his proper due and his proper send-off, and we get rid of and we send off Haskins as well as Ben Roethlisberger after this season, and you move on. But then you think about what you have to replace. Pouncey retires. You got to find the center. It's the most important guy on your offense, not the quarterback. It's your center. Your quarterback is only as good as your center is. So you got to find the center. You got to re-sign Bud Dupree. That's a big sign. I think that if you're going to let him go, then you had better be able to bring in a guy that can replace the production that Bud Dupree brings to that defense. Ultimately, they were 11-0 when their defense was intact. So this wasn't really all about this being on Ben Roethlisberger and his arm being able to carry them to that 11-0 record. It was about how well their defense played. You get Bush back off of being injured. If you're able to bring back Bud Dupree, now you put your defense back intact. That's what you're going to lean on. That's the DNA of the Pittsburgh Steelers. It always has been. So by doing what you're doing with Ben Roethlisberger, I think you're measuring with what I would say an affordable way of approaching it, a discounted way of approaching it. You bring back your Hall of Famer for a swan song season, and you have an opportunity to see if you stole something from what took place with Haskins in Washington. But we stole it, and we made it. We polished it up. We shined it up, and we turned that piece of coal into a diamond. It's possible. Will it happen? I don't know, but why not give it a try?
Joy, I had no idea that Steelers fans share the same delusion that Yankees and Lakers and Cowboys fans share, that their team is always supposed to be championship caliber. And if it's not, that they're somehow being let down massively by the franchise. I think that this is certainly the right move. And you're looking at it as a Steelers fan. I'm going to look at it as a Bengals fan, which is what I am. Proud son of the Natty. And if you ask me, would I rather watch the Steelers or face the Steelers with Mason Rudolph or Sam Darnold or any of the realistic options, considering the cap issues that LaVar pointed out, or face Big Ben? I'll take any of those other options. Yes, I know Big Ben is not what he once was, but he still has the capability. Look, 33 touchdowns against 10 interceptions. I saw the same collapse at the end of the year that you did. He's not the same quarterback that he was earlier in his career, but he still has the capability of making big plays in big situations. He still scares me. Even with an offensive line that may be compromised, it's tough to put him down. And combined with a healthy defense, I still think they're a force to be reckoned with. And let's not underestimate what he gave back. This isn't a Tom Brady negotiating an extension, so we got to live with you another year in order to get our cap number down this year. He took money off and a considerable amount that's going to allow this team to be better. I think that's something a little bit different with Big Ben that we haven't necessarily seen before, which is a certain dose of humility to say, I'm only going to be as good as the guys around me at this stage, and I'm willing to sacrifice some money in order to see that happen. Look, it's not
and I'm only going to be on the team if I take this little bit of money.
It's sweet to imagine Roethlisberger getting some humility in his late age, but I think that played a major role in it.
Agreed. Fair, but better late than never.
Right. Well, to LaVar's point about the defense, which is absolutely true, that is usually the identity of the Steelers, and it was when they were playing well, is also the running game, which has been absent. And that's a major part of why Ben Roethlisberger wasn't able to perform at a high level, because he had to throw it 500,000 times. So they need to do that. And just I can't get out of here with any sort of implication that I am pro Mason Rudolph, because that is not the answer. So I just wanted to clear any confusion about that up. I'm willing to see what Dwayne Haskins can do, but I know what Mason Rudolph is.